Agents of I.C.S. is a Monster of the Week horror podcast meant for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome back to the Monster of the Week podcast that has the absolute most, currently, faces. Well, I guess no thanks to Margot. She decided to fix that. And Carson and Jay with their firebombs. Speaking of Jay, and speaking of poor positions, let's get to them now.
Today, we decided to hunt a monster. Today, the monster decided to hunt us. And today, once again, proved that humanity is the real monsters. We are professionals, so we prepared ourselves. We set up a trap for the monster. And the monster decided to take this personal. After thoroughly thrashing us, I think we are still winning. Not entirely sure, honestly. We really needed things to go our way, Good. Of course, this meant that fate decided to make things go to shit, as Stefan showed up and put a shotgun to my back. If I had a nickel for every time I had a loaded weapon pushed into me while I lay on the floor with my windpipe crushed and my body crumpled like a paper bag, I would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. The first time was of course my own fault, as it usually is. I stole a car from a mobster. Didn't know it at the time. The car happened to be loaded with millions in contraband. So, after having a genuine mafia hit squad called on me and pushed me off the road, I hit a telephone pole at 80 miles per hour, had my unconscious body dragged to an abandoned warehouse where I promptly had a gun shoved into my mouth. I managed to survive and live the day. Now you might wonder how I managed to do that. I shit you not, I managed to make the boss laugh at me. So I walked away that day. It left me with a few things. Firstly, a cool new scar on my head and a damaged eye, which permanently ended my underground racing career. Secondly, a promising gift from a powerful mob boss. Thirdly, a personal vendetta from the underling of said mob boss, who I stole the car from. Apparently I ruined his promotion with that stunt. Fourthly, the case of the bullet that was supposed to be my end. I still wear it around my neck as a reminder. And lastly, a debilitating fear of firearms aimed at me. So, as Stefan cocked his shotgun and pushed it into my back, I froze. And here we are.
Excellent. I love it.
Nice.
God, the mental preparation that went into that.
Alrighty, you did a fantastic job. And cutting back to that exact scene where we are now, I'm always consistent, if anything. Everyone, go ahead and add 1 experience. Jay, add an extra 1 for the recap.
Alright, I technically leveled up last week.
You also level, correct? Did you decide on something, or are you thinking about it?
Yes. It's not something that's worth using mid-fight, so it's fine.
Perfect, okay. We can definitely poke at that later then. So, we will pick up exactly there to really quickly throw down where everything is, what's happening. Margot, you recently disarmed the creature after it was trying to get that face. And I don't know why you're telling it no, but well, whatever. You're being weird. It kind of moved back a bit.
It's my face.
I know, but it's a good face.
My face.
Your opinion is your opinion.
In the middle of the forest.
I say in the middle of my spine, your face. Where else can I put it? Carson, you aren't as beat to shit as Jay and Margot are.
True.
In terms of positioning, Jay, you're near like the back outcropping as the beast pushed you back.
Yeah.
And Steven.
I will say, by the way, there are 4 ways in which case my freezing will end. We'll see what they are.
Indeed. Stefan, of course, is behind you. The creature is closest to Margot. So Carson, realistically, you have the most wiggle room right now. Both Margot and Carson, you guys are near the pile of Molotovs that you guys have set up. There are still mirrors everywhere. The large mirror is on the floor. As a reminder, it's kind of between everyone, realistically. So you can all reach it pretty evenly. Jay was going for it, so he'd realistically be the closest. Kirk is hiding, as you asked him to. And we're all outside the mouth of the cave. Something I was going to ask, I think I asked this to Waifu. So, of course, when you guys roleplay things or do stuff, high fives all around, I love that. Jay, because Carson, you did this last time. You said I'll roll, stress. Of course, we're definitely rolling that here. The situation is complete ass. But I was thinking, let me know how you guys feel about this. So I was thinking anytime, obviously, your phobia comes up, you would roll stress. How do you guys feel that it being your phobia, you roll stress, not +1, but like mechanically?
I'm fine with not rolling stress at all, just gaining stress.
Yeah.
Okay. What I was going to say is you always gain 1 stress, and then you roll to see if you gain more or if you just cap off. Does that make any sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so basically, if it's your phobia, you always get 1, period. But if you roll a 10, if you happen to roll a 10, you're like, good job, awesome. You're still getting 1, but you don't get like 2 or 3 if you fail. So I was thinking that.
Me becoming reckless is one of the points that could, stop me from being frozen. So,
indeed. So starting with all that, I would say with this general situation, for now, Jay, definitely, first and foremost, roll me to keep it together. With cool, not weird.
There we go.
Excellent. All right. So that would be 2. Where would you like to add those?
Reckless.
All right. As previously discussed.
I was thinking, actually, I'm not sure if it makes sense, but I currently have cool instead of tough.
Mm-hmm.
So like a switching. Does it make more sense if I do, or no, I don't. I have sharp instead of stress. Does it make more sense if I do cool instead of stress? Like, as in literally losing your cool?
Yeah, so minus sharp plus what?
It's currently minus sharp plus toughness.
Oh, you mean minus cool plus tough?
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. I get a lot, because you're literally losing your cool. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. So if you were to become reckless, yeah, it'd be minus cool plus tough. I like that a lot, actually. Alrighty, so you don't completely lose your shit, Jay. The last thing that Stefan said is drop your weapons and move away from the thing, effectively.
Nah, I'm currently not wearing a weapon, so that's fine. It's on the ground anyway.
So
I'm like half hunched over at this point, trying to crawl somewhere, and I just raise my hands, I guess.
And Margot and Carson, you both very clearly hear this happen, and you see Stefan standing behind Jay with a rifle pointed to his back.
Does he say anything?
Yeah, he basically said, we're stopping things now. And if you have a weapon, please drop it.
All right, I guess I drop it.
Am I facing him or facing away?
Yeah, actually, what is the layout here?
Fortunately, it's a giant circular outcropping, so all of you can easily see what's happening. If you were facing away, you'd be looking at the tree line.
I mean, I guess I dropped my weapon.
Margot has both a giant sword and... Did you drop the arm?
Yeah.
Just checking.
Did I successfully pull it out of my face is the question.
You rolled so well that yes, you successfully pulled it out of your face. It didn't get far enough.
And what is the creature doing?
Currently, it is slowly reeling backwards. It still looks angry, but it's recovering from Margot slicing off its arm.
Where is Stefan in relation?
Where is Stefan in relation to the creature?
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking feet, or are we talking...
Feet.
Probably 20 or so feet. Because that's about how far Jay was. Margot's obviously very close. She's about, at most, 5 feet away. She just lodged herself from it.
And what side am I on?
Realistically, if we're looking at like the forest being this outcropping in this little square here, it would almost be like this. So you'd be like, yeah, you'd be on the right side, Jay would be on the left side, and then the creature would be, if the mouth were the upper right quadrant of this square.
I just think it would be really satisfying if I could somehow figure out a way to get the creature to attack Stefan. But I'm not smart enough for that.
Don't worry, I got it sorted.
You've already got it sorted?
He currently has his shotgun pressed to my back. I can figure something out.
Okay.
Assuming I don't die.
All right, well.
Honestly, if you're stumped, that's fine. You know, just like ask what's going on. This
I
is
mean,
definitely...
I'd like to keep him talking. I mean, I put down the weapon.
Yeah. Do you say anything?
And I'm like, you gonna elaborate on that? Or you're just keeping it to drop the weapon?
Do you drop yours, by the way, Margo? You haven't said yet. Yours is the most obvious.
This is not the kind of situation where Margaret would want to drop her weapon. Especially since the thing is right beside me, right?
It's about 5 feet from you, yeah.
I feel like Margot would have hidden weapons. Is that not true?
No, that's what I'm asking. So
she has a sniper rifle and a sword that's hard to hide.
Do you not have like daggers or anything?
I always carry a silver knife tucked away.
So you're not completely defenseless.
No, I'm wondering, husband, am I capable of yanking that knife out and tossing it at Stefan with intent to kill?
Like a throwing star or throwing knives?
Yeah.
You can very much do that. But in this current state, he wants you to drop the sword, of course, and so you're obviously you have that like the golf bag with the sniper. Are you still wearing it, or did you set it down to move around easier?
I definitely would have set it down. It would drag me down in this fight.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's probably somewhere near the Molotovs and whatnot, somewhere safe. To answer your question really quick, Jay, were there any mirrors in Stefan's house? There definitely were, yes.
Okay.
You guys checked it top to bottom.
Yeah, just making sure, like, you never know if it is Stefan, it's not the monster instead.
Yeah. So you do drop the sword then, Margot?
I would like to.
He's watching you most intently. You're super obvious.
All right, I will drop the sword.
All right. Stefan does not respond to you, Carson, until Margot drops the sword. Seeing you all put your hands up, he kind of pushes the rifle into Jay as if to say, like, crawl forward, start moving. And you can tell he's pushing you towards the mouth of the cave.
I mean, I'm just complying at this point.
Okay. Is Jay, like, what's Jay thinking right now? Like, what's going through your mind?
He is trying to find a way to... I mean, he doesn't want to die. He has been in this situation before. He's trying to think of anything and everything he possibly can to get out of it, but he is complying.
Okay.
Because he needs time. He needs a moment.
Excellent. And the beast seems to have almost calmed down. That, like, rage and wrath that you all felt surrounding you is still there, but it feels contained within a pinpoint rather than spread throughout the entire forest. And then Stefan just looks at the two of you still standing, Margot and Carson, and says, "You all poked your noses somewhere you shouldn't have, and let's just say things got a little more complicated than I was expecting. You lied, I lied. Let's just get past all that, yes?"
Okay, but if this was more than you were expecting, what were your expectations?
For your group, you mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, I had no idea. You don't too frequently see fools wandering into the forest, running into various beasts and creatures, and you all seem very determined to find this thing. Well, congratulations. You did. But this will be the end of your journey. Margot, Carson, Jay's already on his way. So the two of you and your other little friend there, please walk into the cave.
Do I have an opening yet?
Considering you dropped your weapon, yes.
All right.
Can I also further distract him maybe by starting to, like, back up?
Very much so. So distractions can come in different ways, of course. Obviously, that can be a help out roll. If Margot's attacking, which I assume is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Hey, did you say intent to kill?
Intent to kill.
Then that would definitely be roll to kick some ass. Depending on the outcome of this, Carson and Jay, either of you can help, of course. But Carson, you're in a position where you can help. Jay,
I'm going to react based on what happens after this.
So he doesn't really assume you're going to do anything, Jay, because he's got a gun to your back and you just instantly complied. Yeah. And he's probably been watching what's happening, so he knows that you're in a really bad way. So both of you are actually, Jay and Carson, in a good position to do something. So Margot, you can roll kick some ass.
I'm going to use one of my +1 forwards for this.
Okay.
Nice.
Alrighty, I'm trying to remember, is advanced success 12?
Yeah, it is. I'm 1 off.
If Carson assists you, we might still get it.
Indeed. So Carson, what would you do to distract Stefan long enough for Margaret to draw this blade and chuck it at him?
I think I'm just going to antagonize him.
Oh, just talking shit?
Yeah.
You know what? That works. Go ahead and just roll me help out. Nice.
Nice.
Perfect timing. All right.
Cutting words.
That is a +1 with no downsides, Carson. You're able to insult him a bit, but not so much that he thinks you're planning something. He doesn't see an opening. He sees literally nothing. Margot, there's a lot going on here. How much does your knife do?
Well, it's just a cute little silver knife, and he's human, so 1 harm.
Okay. And this is now an advanced kick some ass because that +1 is bringing your kick some ass to 12. Obviously, we roll with the big boys normally. But what does advanced do on a small boy? You completely hold the advantage. Everyone gets +1 forward. You take no harm. Your attack deals double the normal harm. Your attack drives the enemy away in a rout.
Well, that was intent to kill, so what? Technically, I'd be aiming somewhere special.
Yes. The knife itself only does 1 harm, which obviously is not enough to kill, but it's going to hit or hurt or do something pretty poorly. Now, the thing is, with those options you have, definitely choose carefully. Because he doesn't have you guys surrounded, but he has a weapon out. This is a full success, but what he does next will determine which of those you choose.
I think I want the top one. All hunters involved in the fight get a +1 forward.
Yes, please.
So you definitely can do that. Clear.
You'll see why that one is important in a second.
That is definitely very, very good. Everyone getting a +1 is awesome. The other one, though, the attack drives the enemy away in a rout. He currently has Jay in a really, really bad way. That one.
So you want me to
Oh, he won't be in a bit, so it's fine.
Okay. If you're planning for that, that's perfect. So that's what you want to do? You want to give such a good opening that everybody has a chance to do something?
Yes.
Okay. I will say, with his positioning, since you roll so well, I am not going to have him like lift up and shoot you, as you're relatively far, but as you huck this knife across the way, it is definitely a fair distance, Margot. Normal folk could not make this shot, but you are very easily able to do so because you are focused. The knife sticks in his shoulder, and he curses under his breath, taking a step back, and instinctively, maybe even against his own will, pulls up the rifle to get ready to fire at you, Margot.
Thank you. So, considering the situations, I'm going to get 1 point of reckless regardless. Thank you, please. Because I still have a gun aimed to my back or head.
This is quite true.
I become reckless now. Yeah.
All right, so you'll have to manually move your stats, so go ahead and just do that.
And because of that, rather than, trying to escape or anything, I'm going to... Jay is working under the assumption that Stefan and the monster have a pact. They won't harm each other. So what happens if Stefan attacks the monster instead? So he's going to attack the monster using Stefan's shotgun and then dive away. And if I fail this roll, I'm going to use a lucky to make it succeed anyway, so I'm going to roll to attack. Stefan's gun.
Oh, wait, so you're going to jump up, grab the shotgun, and shoot the monster?
I'm basically going to twist and shoot the monster with his shotgun and then dive away so that hopefully Stefan gets shot instead or killed by the monster. I don't know what their deal is.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's about to fire the gun at me, right? So just redirect it and bam, fire the monster.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Roll like under pressure.
Under pressure.
Do.
And I did say if it's not a straight up success, I'm going to use a lucky. Can I use a lucky if I don't fail?
I think it says it just turns the roll into a full success, doesn't it? Yeah, it says mark luck to change a roll to a 12 plus or to avoid all harm and injury. So yes, go ahead and do that.
Yes.
First luck use. All right, when you spend luck, someone from your past will reappear in your life.
So, that's going to be fun.
Good stuff. Okay. You are able to, as Stefan re-aims this weapon, leap up Jay. Prior to this happening, though, you felt frustration coming from your little friend in the locket. And almost a drilling voice in the back of your mind. Just full of rage and not necessarily disappointment, but like a displaced panic. Just saying like, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. And you finally do. And as you do, Stefan's about to pull the trigger on this rifle he has. You slap it to the left, and it goes off. You hear the weapon crack out and echo through the woods. The bullet has sunk into the shoulder of the creature, and it slowly turns to look at Stefan. Stefan slowly goes to lower the weapon, sort of unsure of like, and they just stare at each other, both entirely silent. And this moment goes on for more than a moment to make it comfortable. You don't sense any immediate violence from the monster, but there's something going on there.
I would like to kick up my sword into my hand and attack.
Okay, what are you attacking?
The monster.
Alrighty, the monster is very much hurt in a way, but you will need assistance with this, Margot. You know it is on its last legs. You know it is in pain. But you also know we need to exploit whatever deep-seated weakness it has before it actually goes down.
Is its face exposed yet?
If it were to have one, yes. The area where its face would be is vaguely human-shaped. All of the little faces have fallen off and litter the floor around you all. There are impressions where eyes would be.
Can I pull out my little pocket mirror and flash it at him?
You definitely can, but you have a two-handed weapon. That's a big one.
I will not pick it up. It's on the ground.
Let me put it this way. They have to happen simultaneously.
Oh, so I need someone else to flash it with the mirror?
Effectively, yes. That's what Jay was going to do. Jay was in the way of doing that while you were going to smack it. So.
All right, and Stefan's still holding the gun, right?
Yes, and he looks shocked. In fact, Jay, I'll let you know this, since you're relatively close. You hear, during this pause, Carson, after I say this, let me know what you're doing, what you're feeling, your general situation. But Jay, though, you're still on the ground, kind of as you stood up and smacked it, but you're not fully standing. You hear, as you're closer than most, a pip, plip, plip on the ground. And as you look up, you notice that Stefan is bleeding from the same shoulder the creature was shot in.
That's alarming.
Does it look like the wound that Stefan got from Waifu's dagger is also on the monster?
No.
Is it two-way?
Only the wound that Stefan struck into the creature.
If Stefan injures it, he gets injured?
Seems like it.
But not vice versa.
It hasn't struck Stefan. Maybe it knows better. This was enough to pause it, though. It very much seems offended that this just happened.
I kind of want to start making my way back towards, the weapons.
Okay, which one are you going for in particular?
So we have the Molotov cocktails, right?
We do.
And then I had my gun, right?
You do. I will remind you.
I dropped that.
Yes, you dropped any weapons you had on you that were visible. You did drop. I will remind you, Carson, that in order to fully fell a creature, we need to exploit its weakness first. This one doesn't like being surrounded by mirrors, but it hasn't faced one full. Oh, sorry. The one time it did full on face it, when Jay hit it, it freaked out, but me didn't know why it freaked out. But after that, I'm saying in terms of damage, just as a reminder, Margot hurt the living shit out of it, and it just got shot. So in terms of damage, this thing has gotten wailed on.
I mean, would I think it would be more useful to grab the weapons? Sorry, to grab the mirrors?
I would say that's up to you, but there was definitely a window, Carson, from Margot throwing the knife and Jay slapping the rifle. During that little window, you easily, if you wanted to, could have dove for the larger mirror.
Yeah, I would have done that.
If you go for the mirrors, then I can shoot him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Carson, during this moment of silence with Stefan staring at the beast, go ahead and roll me act under pressure to do that. And if you want this +1, you can use it. You do not have to. It's up to you.
Do I have to say before I use it?
Yes.
I'm going to say I'll use plus.
All right.
Oh. Well,
nice. A full success. Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Oh, you didn't use it. Okay.
I didn't use it, yeah.
Then you still have it.
Oh, well, I meant to use it, and then I didn't.
Good thing you didn't, then. You still have it.
Whoops.
Anyway.
So I'll dive for the mirror, get in front of the creature, or at least get in its eye line. How close is Stefan to the creature at this point?
About 15 feet away.
Would I have to get between them?
I'll be dealing with Stefan, that's fine.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and get in front of the creature with the big mirror.
I was just checking if Stefan wasn't secretly a monster or something, but he isn't, so.
Right.
He is connected.
But they are connected some way.
Yes, which is good for me.
All right, as you dive in front of the creature, huge mirror, but fortunately, you have the time. You grab onto it, you quickly turn, and you aim it towards the creature. This thing has no traditional face. It just, as I mentioned to Margot, it has depressions where its eyes would be, and the sort of, once again, depression, almost as if it was pushed in like a foam where its mouth would be. Just the head is, if it's even a head. Who knows this thing, honestly? It sees you in whatever way it can. Maybe it just senses Carson, but that violence that was in a pinpoint now radiates.
I mean, that's my moment.
This is your moment. It loses its shit and starts screaming. Its body no longer looks like a human, like an elk, like a centaur, any of the things it was taking on before. It is almost coming undone. And you can see various faces and just limbs pushing as if they're trying to escape from this thing's body. As it gets ready to just blindly charge forward, it doesn't even know what it wants to do, but it's going to do it very soon. Jay, what are you doing?
Do you want me to help you out, waifu, or like set something up, or do you want me to just attack it?
I think we need to make sure what's his face doesn't fire the gun again. At least at us, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be using his gun to shoot at the monster again.
So I guess if you can, I don't know, combo attack that, that'll work.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, I can either help you out and set something up to help you out, or I can just attack it myself. That's up to you.
Well, can he attack and distract by attacking and give me an opening, or is that not doable with these rolls?
With this current situation, after it screams, Stefan will be back in control of himself. So if you're going to go toe-to-toe with Stefan, Jay, you're going to be distracted with that, and you definitely can't help Margot.
Well, he probably won't. Assuming I succeed, he won't be up to help out.
Also that.
All right, yeah. So just take care of Stefan.
Stefan is still like stunned, so I'm going to like sneak behind him and pick up his gun still in his hand and shoot at the monster again, but at his head this time.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Basically take care of Stefan and the monster at the same time, potentially.
Just try not to hit me in the process.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to lucky it again if I need to, because...
oh, dear God, please don't.
At this point, I need to. If I fail it, I literally will take damage and die.
All right, that's fair. And you are very reckless right now, so I guess that's fair.
Yes, it makes sense. It's just more that, like, will I do enough damage to take it down, or do you want to, like, follow it up?
I'll follow it up if I need to.
All right, in that case, I'll help out by doing what I just said I would do. Crawl up behind Stefan and, like, get real close to him, buddy, and, like, into his ear with my crushed wind type. If I die, I'm going to die on my own terms. And I'm going to lift his arm and shoot his shotgun at the monster again, in his face specifically.
Alrighty. And you're doing this intentionally to help Margot to allow her to go in?
Yeah.
Okay,
to make an opening, I guess.
Perfect. So
And
Margot
kill.
Margot definitely roll first then.
All right, so I gotta kick my sword and then swing it. I'm sure I'm very practiced at this, by the way. Do you want me to kick ass or something else?
Definitely kick some ass. You can tell this thing is waiting for any of you to move and then it's going to lash out.
I'm going to use another +1.
All right, perfect. Make sure when you roll, you click to use it.
Watch her roll like a 13 anyway. See?
Perfect. Alrighty, another with the sword this time, right?
Yeet.
All right, you want to roll that finish him?
Finish him. Oh my God. How could you kick some ass and then roll so badly?
I mean, this actually isn't that bad. On a miss, I leave myself open and vulnerable.
Correct. It doesn't directly say you take damage. It's just not great.
I mean,
Fortunately,
he's probably still going to die anyway, so, you know.
Fortunately, you're actually in a good position for this.
But I mean, I also get another thing from advanced kick some ass.
True.
Yes. So
because
on that note,
that +4 was from the previous one.
So with this advanced kick some ass, which one do you want? I will be very clear this time. It is going to hurt you if you do not stop it.
Yeah, I think I want to do suffer no damage.
Okay. We're jumping in, whomping. Unfortunately, we're not getting extra damage, but we will be suffering no damage. Jay, Stefan is definitely going to be a problem as Margot begins to charge.
He does take 4, but no, hang on.
It'll take.
Okay,
it'll take
never
30,
mind,
yeah.
just 1.
Let me finish my help action to see if Stefan is a problem.
Yeah. So actually roll act under pressure because you're not technically helping any rolls here.
Yeah, okay. I potentially still have the +1, but that's up to waifu to decide. So let's see if I fail or not.
Do you want to? Okay.
It doesn't really matter.
Good.
I do it. I shoot the guy, and he probably shoots his own face, apparently.
So during this moment, the creature
make my unstable act up and I go unconscious.
The creature screams at the same time as you rising to your feet, Jay, and moving in to grab onto Stefan Wittenberg's rifle. This rouses him, though, probably more than you would have liked. And while you're able to like grab onto the rifle and attempt to aim it at the creature, you can definitely get a shot off, but it's not going to be precisely where you want it. It will indeed go off, though, but Stefan is 100% going to fight you tooth and nail to get this thing away from you. He is entirely lucid, and you can tell he is livid as Margot. You begin to charge for the beast. Fortunately, Jay, you can tell that Stefan is trying to shoot Margot before she can get there. He's hoping to swing this thing wild enough to shoot Carson, shoot Margot, someone, we don't know, but you're in the way. And Margot, you charge forward. The beast screams, seeing that you intend to meet me head to head in a fight. That's adorable. Let's see how things play out for you. And it charges. Its body growing larger and larger, almost as if it's expanding, blowing itself up to look more and more horrifying. You see more faces and limbs, ribs, just things pushing and stretching from under its flesh as it moves in and charges for you. Its antlers shoot out like spears. You can see the first set as they extend and shoot towards Jay. You're able to dodge to the left, Margot, and you slice them mid-air as they grow limp and strike into the floor. Another set shoots off towards Carson as you're getting closer and closer, but you're able to move in just past Carson, slicing these, and now diving to the right. It only has a few left, but fortunately for it has dedicated them just to you. And as he fires, knowing he'll hit you right between the eyes, ending your life, you're able to dodge downward this time, and you angle the sword just precisely as one of these spears bounces off of it. A loud ting strikes out throughout the woods as you slide forward, and now you're within range of the beast. It has used all of its various tentacles and decrepit limbs to strike at you from a distance, but it's not left any for itself. Close range. Margot, the moment is upon you. The moment to strike. The moment to end this beast. What do you do?
Does it have a cord that I need to aim for?
You're not sure, but whatever you do, this thing's gonna die.
I'm just going to cut in the widest angle I can get.
Excellent. And as you slide in, using all the momentum of both the blade and your weight.
I'm feeling very Dark Knighty.
I mean, yeah, you got the big sword.
I like this.
I mean, in that case, the kill has to be Dark Knighty as well.
In what way?
As in, like, plunging the entire thing through its body, basically, and pulling it out. It has to be gory, at least.
I'm still gonna go for the slash. I think because Margot's kind of small, so she needs the momentum, not a stab.
So you're gonna go from like a lower slash upward?
Or down and around. I don't care.
Alrighty. You use all this momentum as you slide forward. Right before you ram into it, Margot. You pull back your weapon. You feel the muscles in your legs tighten. This is the perfect moment. And you swing your blade upward, diagonally, striking it first at where its hip would be. And the blade cuts in deep, continues cutting, slicing through the center part of its body, and continues. And it continues as you stand and it jump as you let the blade just take you. You leap past. You shoot almost 2-3 feet past this thing as your blade soared clear from its hip to its shoulder. And as you land, you hear a wet, slopping sound as its upper half slaps onto the floor. And Stefan, incredibly frustrated at this moment, just seeing what you've done, he just screams out and he just begins shooting at random. And Jay, you wrangling the gun, he unfortunately does not hit any of your friends, and he's just click, 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 click. He didn't have that many bullets. And he deflates for a moment. Margot, you've landed, the dust has settled, the creature's body falls limp and begins to eke out some thick substance. But you no longer hear its cries. You no longer feel its presence. And after it falls, you hear a second thud somewhere in the distance.
No.
But we know the creature is dead.
What do you mean somewhere in the distance?
As you look around, Margot, you see Kirk near the mouth of the cave, on his knees, holding his stomach, trying to hold the blood in.
Did Kirk get shot?
Seems like it.
God damn it. Okay, I'm going to go up to Stefan and just punch him in the face.
Okay.
No mercy for old men.
I would have pulled out my gun, which I still have, like the revolver, and put it to his head, honestly.
Did you do that after Margot punches him or before?
Probably before.
And I'm going to punch him anyway.
Okay.
Thanks for making him stand still.
Yeah.
This causes him to also drop the rifle and freeze. As he goes to say something, you just stick him across the face, and he is dazed for a moment as he leans back and he tries to find himself, also falling to his knees, and then further now to his hands.
Hey, Carson or Margot, can you handcuff this guy? I'm going to faint in a bit.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And
I will do that.
All right. Thanks, Carson.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Kirk.
Yeah, and I'm gonna faint. I'm
Yeah.
gonna basically go knockout because honestly I'm unstable and almost dead.
Oh my god.
Yes,
The adrenaline has worn off.
Yeah, he's in a very bad way right now.
Oh,
so,
actually, can I help Jay not crack his skull open as he falls?
Carson's close enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
you guys are
laying
all
up
close.
against the soft, fleshy cave wall. It's fine.
It's okay. People sacrificed in the past, so you can lay on flesh wall now.
No.
I haven't been cut. It's probably fine.
Probably. Is Kirk in immediate danger, or can he hang on for like an hour?
You feel he can maybe hold on for like an hour or so, but he's holding his stomach and he's trying to push, and he's looking around for like his bag, and he sees it's near where your guys' like ammo and shit was, and he just looks up at you, Mark, and goes, "Oh shit! Oh, it didn't hit anything lethal, I don't think."
Yeah, you can't tell that. I will go dash to his bag. I assume it has something useful in it.
There's some medic supplies in there, yeah.
All right, time to patch him up, I guess.
Alrighty. As he is trying his best, he coughs up a little, and he spits out some blood and goes, "Oh shit, that's not good. That's bad, yeah. Oh, yeah, grab that, and that." And you come over to Kirk and you start to, assist and help him out with this. Margot, go ahead and roll me act under pressure as you're trying to very quickly assess what's wrong with Kirk and like what to do and how to do it. Alrighty. You can see where he's bleeding. You can quickly assess the situation with an 8 for act under pressure. You're able to indeed, for now at least, get him all tied up and whatnot. He doesn't look like he can stand, at least for now. And he lets you know, like, just lay me down here. Give me a minute. I think I'll be fine. You don't see that the bullet jumped out the back, so it's still in there somewhere. Hopefully, it didn't bounce around and do too much damage, but it doesn't look like it maybe hit his. It might have hit his intestines. You can't 100% tell. You had to do this really quick.
Hang on. Was this a shotgun or a regular gun?
It was like a shit. What are they called? Not pellet. Slug. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's holding on to that, and this will take a minute, Margot, to get him wrapped up. And as you are starting to help him, the fatigue's starting to get to you as well, and you're realizing how hurt you are. Your wounds, they're starting to like pulsate, and you can just feel the heat radiating and pain from them. Carson, as you're checking out Jay, Stefan is just sitting there on his hands and knees, and you can hear him now bleeding into the dirt.
Sucks to be him.
It does. And he looks around and just says, "What have you done?"
Why were you doing it?
This creature has been bound to my family for generations. It's been protecting our town.
It was killing people.
It was part of the deal. They warned me something worse would happen were to be removed or leave.
Yeah, that's how they get you. God, you idiot.
And as he's sitting here and you're wrapping up Kirk and checking out yourself, Margot, Jay, you said you're falling just like passed out resting.
Basically.
And then Carson, since you are closest to Stefan, what are you doing in the meantime? The fallen beast is to your right, Jay's to your left, and Stefan's right in front of you.
Does he have a gunshot wound?
Stefan?
Yeah.
Yes, but probably no bullet.
I'm gonna punch him in the gunshot wound.
All right, as you stick him right in the arm.
Oh, Margot's impressed.
I don't punch him hard. It's already gonna hurt.
You don't need to hit hard.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not like slugging him. I'm just, hitting him where it hurts.
He is old, and you're literally punching an open wound. So he howls at that and kind of like falls onto his side, and he looks up at you and says, What are you planning on doing with me? I'm the village.
The village? What about it?
I'm the village elder. You're not going to kill me.
Why would I kill you? That's not even why we're here.
Oh, it's a good thing.
You literally. What?
I would have suggested throwing him down the cave.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't know about that killing thing, Carson.
Look, I
have to think about this real hard. Murderers deserve
Margot.
Worse.
Is that your designation in I.C.S?
Shut
Judgment
you.
giver?
Hurry up, pick up Jay and let's get out of here. Kirk ain't gonna last long.
Yeah, we gotta go. However,
actually, can I be stabilized when I'm, not fighting, or is that like a you need to be healed thing?
So to be stabilized, you either need magic, which we don't have access to, not necessarily a medical kit, but like a full-on med unit to sit you down, right bones and stitch you up, and literally a hospital to become fully fixed. The whole you take 1 extra damage at random, I won't be mean with that because obviously if you're at 6 or 5 like Margot is, if I keep poking the bear, you literally have to burn luck every time I say that, and that's a bit much, we'll say. So yes, you are always, if something bad happens, in danger of furthering your wounds, but you definitely need to go somewhere to get these looked at, 100%.
We have a long walk back too, don't we?
You do, yes.
Yep.
And on the note of the long walk back, Carson, obviously you can help Jay. Margaret, you're helping Kirk.
I'm helping Kirk and the old man. First though, I want to stash the arm and any other bits and pieces, and I assume we have extra cases for body parts in Kirk's bag.
You can definitely do that. Are we leaving all the mirrors and the big mirror behind? That's way too much stuff.
Yeah, we'll come back for those, or
Okay.
leave them here. No, actually, no, we'll leave them here in case another one decides to come back.
We probably need to send back an I.C.S. unit to check out this cave because
Ooh, very true. That is a good point.
Yes, so Margot, cleanup is very much a thing. So you can send a crew in because there's no danger. As long as you promise them there's no danger, they will come in and they will clean all these mirrors up. They'll get everything put away.
I can make no such promise. I can say
as long as you don't go into the cave, you're fine. Probably.
Yeah, I can say I took care of the main problem, but who knows if there was something else I was completely unaware of.
No. I mean, we're
They're
going to
aware
have
of
to
that.
go back into town before we can do that anyway because we don't have any cell service here.
Yes. So we'll leave the mirrors there. I will take the immediate body parts, and then I will give Kirk something to rely on, and I'm going to manhandle Stefan so that he can't escape, and I might be a little mean to an old man.
Okay, so you're both helping
I can
Kirk and
probably-
Stefan?
I can probably still walk, but
I mean, all I got to do is have Kirk lean on me, and I just got to yank Steven around by an arm, right?
Probably, but as you move towards him, Margot, he crawls away from you and puts a hand out as if to say, stay away from me.
did we not tie him up?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna let him kill you, Stefan. Don't worry about it.
I probably bought a bunch of, survival gear, so you can probably rope him up if you want.
I will do that, yes. Especially if he's resisting. Don't worry, I'm going to see that you face punishment for this.
Punishment from what? From whom?
You're a murderer.
I did no such thing.
You're a murderer.
No,
Murderer.
I've not killed anyone.
You murderer.
You're just repeating yourself, so he's not really sure to say. You're very stern, though.
Look,
He's an
Stefan,
accomplice at best, so,
You
Yeah,
have
that's
allowed
still
this
murder.
creature to kidnap and kill people for their faces. That's pretty messed up.
For their faces.
You're an accomplice at the very, very least.
He doesn't say anything to that. He looks away from you and the creature, and then just says, "So what? You're going to tie me up and drag me into town? How will that look?"
We're not going to drag you.
I'm
You can walk
dragging him
just fine.
unless you want
Stop.
willingly.
Don't worry, with the nature of our work, your punishment will be carried out in secret. Your image will be spared, to a degree.
He's not sure how to feel about that, so whichever one of you would like to roll to, since you've all thrown something at him, Carson, I believe you're the best at this, so someone roll to convince.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to convince him.
Wait,
It's fine.
don't I have a... No, I'll try convince.
You also have the +1, Carson, if you want to use it.
I'm going to use... What?
What?
That doesn't make any sense. What?
Wait a second.
2 + 6
Why did it do ++1?
+2 +1?
What?
Oh, did you type +1?
No.
I don't know. That's good, though.
It's a 9, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how did that roll like that?
Well, it should be 8, 9, 10, 11, technically. So you nailed it. I don't know what's going on with
Yeah, it's 11, yeah.
Not sure why that's a 0. Cool. We've discovered new math.
What?
Hey kids, did you know 2 + 6 + 2 + 1 is 0?
+1.
I don't know.
Wait, it's magic.
God, I don't understand that at all. I'll
found-
try better next time. That being said,
Carson, can you stop breaking reality for 2 seconds?
I'm so sorry. I ultimate convince.
Yes. Whatever you say to him.
I
as a-
accidentally brainwash him.
Yeah, for real. Altogether, with everything you guys say in the general situation, he doesn't look like he wants to be brought in, mainly because how's it going to look for him? How's it going to look for you guys, though? You guys are all bloody and beat the shit. You're bringing in another guy who's shot in the stomach and an old man that doesn't want to come with?
It's still midnight, right?
You guys arrived at around 5, 6, and you guys have been here for some time, so I say it's past 7, by the time you get fully back, because it's going to take a while, it's going to be around 8, maybe 9. So not super late, but definitely lights out.
I will shove him straight into the van.
With everything you guys say to him, he is going to go willingly with you guys, as opposed to you dragging him, maybe making a bigger scene. And on top of that, he's willing to, maybe help direct and say, like, okay, fine. If you go this way and this way, people shouldn't see all of us. He's trusting you for now because you did punch him in the arm, and maybe deep down he feels like he deserves it. So he's not really fighting against that. He'll come with, though, quietly, mostly.
Is Graham still in town?
Yes, Graham is definitely still in town.
I guess we should bring him with us now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't normally ask this, but order of operations is a little sloppy here. So Margot and Jay are both a bloody mess. Carson's the cleanest looking. We can get to the car. This will take hours of walking. It's gonna be a bit on the way there. Margot, obviously, you and Jay, if the adrenaline wore off before, it's completely gone now. You guys are head to toe, just pain. Kirk is not doing so good either. Occasionally, he's like, I can walk on my own, Margot, but he has moments of slowing down. You ever been in like a race or a rally and you just completely run out of stamina and you can start to not black out necessarily, but like you think you're going at a good speed and you're just like dragging your feet, just like zombie mode?
Yeah.
He hits that occasionally. What's his name? The prince from Run with the Wind. That run.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. His version of running, whatever that was in the first part of the show.
No, but that wasn't even walking, please.
It was extra effort to move at a snail's pace. Oh, sorry, at a butterfly pace. So
no, he was even slower than a butterfly.
He was slower than a butterfly, correct? You notice Kirk is fine for a while, but then he just occasionally becomes entirely lethargic and starts dragging his feet, almost just like that, moving more than he needs to.
I mean, that's when I help him out.
Yeah. And you notice this is happening more and more frequently. When you do, he's like, no, I'm good. I got this. But his body just like is like shutting off.
You're suffering from blood loss. We need to hurry up.
Yeah. And as you guys go at a fairly decent pace, Stefan is also hurt. So he's older too. He can't run. It takes you guys some time, a little over an hour to get out of the woods. And you, for a moment, I think maybe something is still following you. It's dark. You guys have lights, but it's so easy. It's so easy to get lost in the woods. You turn the wrong way once, and you could be gone forever. But you guys have been here a couple times before. And eventually, the clearing gives way, and your group sees the van.
To the van!
The other van, right? From I.C.S.
Your van and Kirk's van are close by.
Do we want to bring both?
I want Stefan to tell us.
Graham can probably drive that one back, honestly, if he wants to.
Okay, and
actually, you might need Graham to drive us.
True, that's also true, yeah.
Who's going to get Graham?
Carson, I guess.
No, the least bloody person.
The person not leaking everywhere, you mean?
Yes.
Man, we got a whole ass party now. As you guys arrive, Carson, Graham is waiting for you guys, probably in the room. And you swing wide the doors of Season's Comfort. And Eleanor greets you, but she pauses looking at you because you clearly have some blood on you still. Maybe in locations you didn't check. And she just goes, "Is everything all right? Where's the rest of your friends?"
It's a long story. I'm not going to get into it right now, but, I'm sure you will figure it out.
Okay.
I'm vague on purpose.
She kind of nods at that, just assuming you're okay. And as you head up,
I give her a thumbs up.
Yeah, she kind of, all right, sure, thumbs up, and back to her paper. But she's watching you go up the stairs, like, yeah, is that boy all right? You eventually go to Graham's room, and you knock, and he very quickly answers. And he looks you up and down. He can see the blood too, and gives you a look as if to say, "Are you okay?"
It could be worse.
Where's everybody?
Well, you know what? Maybe you should just come with us, and we'll explain on the way.
Yeah, sure. And your intent with all this, are we leaving Galva Hills, or are we coming back at some point? Are we checking out?
Get a week of downtime, yeah, sure. Downtime, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Graham's coming back for a while at least, probably.
Alrighty. Graham doesn't really need an explanation. He follows you, Carson, gives a wave to Eleanor, and she kind of waves back, like, okay, where are you guys going at 9 o'clock at night, but whatever. You'll head out, and we find the appropriate combination of drivers and people in the back. After we, sit down, we have better materials here with both Kirk and Jay's healing wagons. So you guys are still bleeding. Things are still really bad, but better than they were. And we got the dirt.
Oh, it's fine.
No,
We got dirt, we got blood, we got a whole bunch of good stuff.
that's what I care about.
Indeed. And y'all are just driving back to I.C.S. or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hospital section of I.C.S.
Hopefully, yes.
How convenient.
Yeah.
That's where Maya and Ivan are.
Oh yeah, it is perfect.
And we did bring all
Have we
like,
heard
the
about-
blood and bones and insides of the monster, right? And the dirt.
They didn't tell me that I'd gotten a message or anything, had they?
Regarding...
Ivan.
No, so nothing called from there, but you do know tomorrow is probably his last day.
Okay. What a
So-
sad fate.
So it's late, but you guys are just driving straight to I.C.S.?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Like Jay
I'm
at
still
this
feeling
point,
the adrenaline.
Jay at this point is not desperately trying to stay awake, basically, because he knows how things goes.
I
So
am
he's telling
attempting.
stories.
I am attempting to keep you involved in these stories as well as Kirk.
Yes. So you know that story that I told in the recap?
Yeah, I love that recap, by the way.
Yeah, he would be telling the both of you that story
Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
in person. And Carson would probably recognize some names. Well, assuming how well does Carson know like the mafia?
I
this
mean,
local
I
area.
have a lot of organized crime knowledge.
Yeah, then you would probably know like the boss that I'm talking about was a very, very well-known local mob boss in the area who was murdered a couple years ago, like 5 years ago, by a one of his underlings who happens to be the same underling that Jay or has a vendetta against Jay in his own
Oh.
car.
Uh-huh.
And you would also know this: he was murdered in his own car, his favorite car, a black Buick Riviera.
Wait a second.
That was
This is a little. Are you explaining this to me, or?
sure. If you ask questions, I'll explain how things happened.
Yeah, I will, and then I'll probably be like, "Oh my god!" So that's what happened.
Like Jay, basically after the murder of the guy, when Jake got out of prison around that time, he went back to like a police auction and bought the car after it was refurbished.
Oh, that is just evil, but
Yeah.
like
I mean,
not
he
in a
did
bad
promise-
way.
he did promise to give it to me once he kicked the bucket, so I didn't expect it to be this soon. This was also the same car that he stole, by the way, with all the drugs in it.
Oh my god, you're just.
Yeah.
Well,
And that was the end of my, well, renowned career.
I guess we definitely taken some different steps,
Yeah, you could say that.
for lack of a better explanation. I'm gonna have to think on that.
And while you guys are driving, it's definitely some way. So Jay telling the story can help both keep up spirits and keep you guys distracted. We're definitely in both vehicles, so we're split in whatever way makes the most sense. But while you're talking, Jay, during any downtime or pauses, maybe before you elaborate too far in your story, as Carson's asking a question, you hear in the back of your mind just scratching at you. Don't fall asleep. Keep talking. Keep talking. Stay awake. Just urging you.
I know.
Mm,
By the way, how long did you know? I'll ask my pocket watch. That Stefan was lying to us.
It doesn't answer in words, but it didn't actually know.
No, I was gonna go with it did know. Because I noticed something which follows into the feat I'm getting, or the ability that I'm getting.
Okay, what's up? What's that?
I'm going to get the ability that makes it impossible for people to lie to me.
Oh, nice. Which one's that?
I think it's was it a mundane one or a challenged one? I can't remember what his name was.
I've considered that one. That one's useful.
Yes, so basically, like, the idea that I had is the way Jay does, like, the picklocking with his watch is that he basically is able to feel the lock that he's picking, the frequency or whatever you want to name it. And he noticed during, like, the talk with Stefan and all that he can also do that with people. So he can feel their, well, emotional states or their heartbeats, I guess.
Okay. I'll have to double check the exact phrasing on that to make sure it's not just, is it just one sentence if people can't lie to you, or does it elaborate at all?
It's specifically, well, humans, I think. If they lie to you, you know.
Very interesting. All right, we'll definitely look at that. I like that though. That's solid. It definitely falls into maybe it had its suspicions, but it wasn't 100% sure. It was waiting for that like one more piece of the puzzle to fall into place to verify that he was not necessarily like full of shit, but keeping things from you guys. But we didn't have exactly the best rolls running through his house, so
we kind of suspected it already.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is the reason why he suggested breaking into his house, because he probably was lying.
Then after some time, you guys eventually leave the woods. We re-enter primary town, and we have cell service again. Ain't that quaint? Technology once again blesses us. Any text,
Oh, how I've missed you.
or images you've been sitting on, Margot, they all send.
It's called suspicious mind of the flake. If someone lies to you, you know it.
Very cool. Going into all that, we're seemingly safe. The I.C.S. medic unit is not really too far away from where we are now. As mentioned before, we've collected all the dirt, viscera, whatever we need. Margaret, you're able to scoop it up while you were near the cave. With Kirk, you were also near the corpse of the thing, so that wasn't really too hard. Carson, were you near it as well? You probably could have helped with that too. And Kirk was kind of just doing his job. So, what are we doing with Stefan? Are we dragging him in the building with us, or?
I'm not going to drag him.
I'm going to drag him.
No, I slap your hands.
Fine. I'll go get whoever takes care of bad people.
Look, that's fine. I just don't,
I mean, we're at an I.C.S. hospital. They can come pick him up. It's fine.
No mercy for old men, just because they're old.
It's not mercy. It's wanting to keep him relatively, okay, so that he can face justice appropriately.
All right, that's fair.
I'm just saying.
All right, well, he'll come along, but he has no idea what's going on at this point.
However, if he doesn't face justice, you're allowed to do whatever. I know that I was complaining that you weren't allowed to mete out justice.
Ooh, I like this. I like this.
But, it's a gray area.
I can compromise.
Perfect.
And we're introducing Graham to the world of I.C.S. because I still think he has some magic in him.
Oh, I wasn't the only one that did then. Good.
The magic of friendship.
Yeah, I was going to suggest to him a career change.
We were all on the same page.
A paper pusher for I.C.S. or something.
Yeah, just to get started.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely interested in it.
Definitely.
And after seeing us all bloodied up, he's going to know how dangerous it is, too.
Yeah, that probably makes it easy for I.C.S. to keep an eye on him as well, because there's definitely something weird about him.
Yes.
And as you guys are probably thinking that, you probably would discuss this at some point. We bring everybody in, we have all the stuff that we need, and they let your group know instantly, hey, he's not going to make it. Like, we've kind of left him to the room. He's been waking up, screaming, sleeping. Do you have the stuff?
Yeah, I'll whip it out.
All right, excellent. They want to keep you guys outside the room just because what they're going to do is going to be, well, not... You're already not looking good. So Margot and Jay, they can throw you guys to a separate room. And Carson, you're, for the most part, fine. Kirk is not fine. So realistically, they're tossing kind of all of you in here just to get looked up, to get fixed up, and all that good stuff. And Carson, Stefan, Graham, they have Stefan somewhere where it's not like, hey, you're under arrest, but like you're probably not leaving. Just chill here for a while. We'll talk to you, when we get the chance. Don't worry. They're being really nice as to not freak him out. They're also being nice to Graham as well, saying thank you for helping, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Just the usual bullshit. And as you guys are kind of all relaxing, Margot, they, throw you on a table, and then they, oh my God, you are just beat the shit. What the hell happened to you? And Jay saying, like, dear God, what you guys?
Oh, just the usual.
They're used to this, but you, Margot, as they're kind of like stripping you and checking and whatnot, they notice that cut on your leg. The scab is way worse. It's like twice as big as you last saw it.
Is it itching?
It is.
After everything stopped, Margot, yeah, it's definitely getting itchy. You're able to resist.
Whoa!
Wait.
So wait. You mean it's still itching after we've killed the creature?
For now,
It
yeah.
might be one of those cases where, it might not be killable technically, or...
I mean,
It-
it could be an infection, too.
I mean, there's also the fact that they said that there might be something worse in that forest, so you never know.
That is a good point.
So, with all that, Jay, fortunately, you don't have this weird scab rot. Everybody else does, though, so yay, fun for everyone.
What? Carson doesn't have it?
I'm joking. I mean, you have it. Ivan has it. Maya has it. It's going around.
Yeah, I'll pass on the scab rot.
Good. That's a solid plan. Margot, for you specifically, while you were leaving Lovat Gaj and Galva Hills, that calling, whether it was violent or whether it was genuine, that urge to just have you, is gone. You know that Ivan was screaming he has to go back to the woods. Now, maybe when you pass by the room, he's just freaking out. Regular freak out.
I mean, it probably hurts.
Yes. Almost as if he's finally come to, but his body just can't really handle what's going on. So they're doing their absolute best to peel back the scab, do what they can, find the original location where it was, and, pray that whatever you guys brought, some of the blood, some of the mud, they slap it on there, they seal it with the leaves. They do that for you as well, Margot. Your cut's pretty long, so they need a decent amount. Maya's isn't too bad, but yeah, they throw you down, they strip you of that area, they clean you up, get you all stitched up and everything. I don't know how you fixed getting punched in the throat, but they do their best for that. And they just throw what they can, this new medical mixture on the wound. They patch it with leaves, and hopefully this is enough to make it go away. Basically, Margot, don't move, don't do anything. They further seal that in a cast so you can't touch it. For Ivan, they just have him knocked out, and hopefully this will stop whatever it is, even though it's covered his whole body. And then Maya, hers is on her arm, so they're hoping it stops there as well. They're gonna insist that Margot, Kirk, and Jay obviously stay the night, as it's already fairly late, and just relax.
Jay is abusing the morphine.
They you know what, they don't mind. Have some fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool. Just passed out.
Have fun in La La Land, basically. So for both Margot,
this is a great time if you want to ask Jay some questions, because he's just going to answer them.
Oh
He's
my!
just talking at this point.
Initially for this first night, they're going to insist that you're all in separate rooms just to be safe.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then they'll put you guys in your own room. They're not sure if when this thing dies, something spreads. They don't want Margot transforming into something. You've seen weird shit before, Margot. After the creature dies, oh no, you become the next creature.
Oh yeah, no, it's totally cool.
Yeah, they're not messing with that shit. So just in case, overnight, who knows what the moon's doing right now? Who knows what the tides are doing? Is Mars in a retrograde? I don't know. Stay in a room.
Actually, in that case, I'm definitely gonna call Maverick.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to. They don't mind that. Fortunately, there's cell service here. Weird, right? So Margot's good. Jay's good. The two of you can unmark unstable.
Yay! I'm not dying anymore.
And not anymore. All three of you can heal 1. And they have an area kind of for waiting, effectively. So Carson, you would be with Stefan and Graham there, kind of just hanging, relaxing, just sort of doing your thing. And if there's anything you want to discuss, Carson, you can, or we can just roll over to the next day. Your choice.
I guess I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna be like, well, if you got anything good to say, now's the time to say it.
Besides, reiterating what you said before.
Yeah.
Of what are you guys gonna do? I was a town elder. New people come in. I suddenly go missing. What?
Does he not remember any of that, or does he just choose not to care about it?
Stefan?
Yeah.
Oh, he remembers. Half of him.
Sorry,
Does
go
he
on.
remember all the people that disappeared, though?
Oh, do you want to ask that?
Yeah, I thought that's what I was asking.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant do I remember the incident?
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Oh no, I meant does he remember the people who disappeared?
As you asked that, he's sitting in his chair and he's silent to himself. They've already kind of nursed his smaller wounds, and then to.
Oh, I definitely got my silver knife back, by the way.
Oh, of course. It was firm, lodged very, very firmly to one of his shoulders, and he was shot in the other shoulder. Perfect. And they let you know after they fix up Stefan. Maybe you overhear it, Carson. How weird! This looks like a bullet wound, but there's no bullet.
That's crazy.
Couldn't have bounced out. Very strange. Whatever. And as you ask him, does he remember the people? He just kind of thinks to himself for a moment. I remember most of them, yes. Some of their photos are on my walls. I believe you would have seen them. Their names are still in the ledgers. I don't know them all by name, no.
They're in the ledger, though.
Yes, they should be.
So you keep a record of everybody that the creature takes?
Well, we have the same record that you all signed your name in. Same with you, Graham, as he nods. And Graham's looking at him wait, hold up. What?
You need to tell me that every person who comes through that hotel
is taken? No. it feeds when it wishes to, when it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you figured out what you needed to figure out when you did, as you clearly know what you're doing, so I have no reason to hide anything from you. I assume this is, where you work?
Yep.
Well, all I know...
Where we stop people from being murdered by, crazy creatures.
He slowly nods at that. And I won't excuse myself. What I did, what was done, I understand. I get it. But I didn't choose. It chose. I don't know its methods. I'm not even sure if my father knew the methods. All I know is it was meant to protect our town. From what, I don't know.
There's no record? How do you not know it was lying to you?
My father said that were it to perish, our bloodline would as well. I don't know if I'll be long for this world. And he's just kind of staring at the wall.
I got nothing.
Ask him about Finn.
Yeah, I'll ask him about Finn.
I mean, Graham has a picture right there.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll ask him about it.
Graham goes to show him the picture, and as you're going to ask Carson, Graham asks the same thing, basically saying, wait, what the hell? Hold up. You remember everybody, but you don't remember this guy? And then you ask as well, and he looks at the photo and says, I don't know why you keep showing me this boy. I've never seen him before. He did not visit Galva Hills with you, Graham, right? Because yes, he came with me. It was just the two of us. There's no way. You can't remember all of them, and not him. That's impossible. And he takes a step back, like, all right, chill. Like, I don't know.
God?
Yes.
When he said the ledger, do you mean the one that the guests sign in?
Yes, everyone signed their name in there, but he specifically said not everyone was taken. The beast just chooses at random every year, every 5 years. He doesn't know why it chooses, it just does.
So Finn went missing for a completely unrelated reason.
Yeah, but that was to be expected, honestly.
Yes and no. Oh, poor Graham. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to get hired by I.C.S. because I would be desperate if I were in Graham's position right now.
Graham is looking at him like, son of a bitch, what? I want to be angry. I mean, I'm angry at you, but I want to be more angry at you because you made my friend go missing, but you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, this is technically good news. At least he didn't
still be alive.
Yeah, he didn't become mush on the cave wall.
Actually, did Carson share with us the fact that Graham basically said he feels like he doesn't belong here?
Yeah, I would. I mean,
well, maybe you really don't belong here, as in you're from a different place. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of weird shows about dimensions lately.
Maybe
There's a world where Finn is still alive and you disappeared instead.
A convergence.
If you were to tell him that, he'd be like, "What the shit?" Okay, I'm not sure.
As he says that, Jay phases out of reality again and just falls asleep.
Definitely gives him something to think about. But yeah, over the night, basically, Carson, there's rooms for guests where you, Stefan, and Graham can all sleep separate. They'll keep an eye on Stefan. You don't need to worry about that. He ain't going anywhere in case he, last second wants to run away. And other than that, if you have any more questions, Carson, we can roll over to the next day where Margaret is hopefully cured.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just roll over to the next day. I assume you would tell me if there was more information we could have gotten from Stefan, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, like I mentioned, in our other game, which is very investigation heavy, if there's something I'll have him say, I'll just have him say it. If you don't question, I'm not going to have him just randomly start talking, of course. But yeah, I'm not going to hide anything from you guys, especially at the end of the case. If there's something specific you want to know, definitely ask it now. Otherwise, they're going to handle him.
So basically, though, the takeaway here is that Stefan's family for generations have been allowing this creature to take people at random from the hotel that's built in the town.
Yes.
And Graham's friend Finn, while he disappeared in an untimely kind of way, probably is not related, is not connected to the creature. Is
Correct.
that all correct?
Correct. Everything that the creature took still exists.
Yeah, the only correlation is that Finn did get scratched, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it. Okay.
So he might be, screaming in a different universe about going back to the forest, but he can't.
I mean, do we know anything about? Is that a thing that exists in this universe?
They will not discount anything just in case.
I believe in aliens.
Yeah, Margot, you probably haven't run anything along those lines yet, but I.C.S. will not discount anything.
All right.
Just in case. They never want to say, that definitely couldn't happen, and then it happens and we go, oops.
Oops.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Well, in that case, yeah, as long as that's where we're up to, I'll just let it go to the next day.
All right, perfect. And we wake. Tomorrow is nice and early. Margot, you got this horrible, as you wake, you get this horrible like scratching sensation on your leg, and it's just it's so itchy. It feels awful.
Rather than scratching, I resist by screaming very loud.
You scream very loud, and the nurses come in like, what?
Please make it stop itching.
Are you like showing them your leg, or?
Yeah, I'm pointing at it.
Yeah, they point to the cast. They say, yeah, it's a cast. It probably just itches. Don't scream. Oh my God. And they.
I'm now very grumpy.
Okay, you kind of freaked them out. So they come over and they like, all right, chill. Like, you're good.
Hey, I mean, at least you don't feel compulsed to itch, right?
Anything itchy, you're compulsed to itch.
No weird dream either. So there's that. And after a second.
Ooh, that is a good thing.
Yeah, they like, all right, calm down, Margot. Jesus. And they slowly cut it open. And as they do, fresh air finally hits your leg. And you've had this thing wrapped up for a couple nights. So that's not a fun sensation. And relief.
The smell.
Doesn't smell great, but the relief. It doesn't smell great for multiple reasons, because A, cast, B, you literally rub the blood and mud of the creature into the wound and then slap some leaves on it. So that's not.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Not great. Let me go into detail, actually. No, kidding.
Please, no.
Actually, I recorded a fun, accurate sound, if you want me to play that real quick for you guys.
Are you serious?
No, I'm joking.
Imagine.
I would believe you would do it, Bun.
I have things planned, but not that. I know you're not a huge fan of sounds. So regarding that, Margot, you look down and it's just a cut after they clean away all the gunk. Just a cut, no scab. And it itches, but only itches.
That worked really well.
It only itches because there was garbage on it.
All right, well, wait, so once they clean it up, it doesn't itch anymore?
A little.
It's the normal healing itch?
Yeah, the normal healing itch.
Excellent. So, how's Ivan?
They look at you as if to say, it's going to be a little more complicated, but he's going to need a couple days. It's over his entire body.
But he is healing?
They show you to the room. They actually wake up. Well, they're going to keep Kirk down because his wound's pretty bad. Jay, yours is also very, very bad, but they can get you up, but they can call Carson.
I'm not going anywhere, trust me. I have morphine.
Yeah. That's very, you can chill in your bed if you want. Those of you that are, in this world, in this realm, they let you know, as long as you're not drugged off your ass, that Ivan's not dead. He's mostly stabilized, but when he does wake, the screams are just, dear God, what? Once again, just for you, Margaret, I won't go into detail, but his hands are scabbed. So if he were to squeeze them, it just rips them all open. That's not great.
Ouchie.
So, yeah. And he's freaking out and moving, and they're not sure if this is just, it'll go away, if it will retract, if he'll grow new skin, how long he had this for, is it permanent? Who knows? He still has his face, though, so yay.
I mean, he has a very long healing time, definitely.
Right. But, most importantly...
At least he's still alive.
They thought he would have expired. Bingo.
And he hasn't expired?
He is indeed still alive. They think it's working. They're going to slowly peel back the scab and apply what they can to the wound and keep doing it, and to other areas as well, hoping it will cure him, along with everything else they have. We're super busy, but we're good. And as they're telling you about Ivan and his hopefully good future, you guys hear someone walk up behind you. And she says, well, hello, everyone. And you turn to see Maya.
Oh, how's she doing?
What's your hand?
She holds her hand up and waves it at you, and there's a Band-Aid on it. Like a gauze, but no crazy scab up to her elbow. She's smiling widely.
I'm so glad.
I don't know what y'all did, but good job.
She's a good kid. I'm glad she's getting better.
I think they want to look at me for one more day, but other than that, it's nice just to have this nasty scratch. It's gonna scar, but that's fine. Better that than I lose my whole arm, right?
Yeah. You could come up with a cool story for it.
Oh, you bet your ass I will.
I mean, there's always that.
And she smirks at that. Graham's kind of hanging nearby you all. And like I mentioned, Kirk is definitely still down for the count. He was indeed shot, but things are looking upward. He's not going to die, but he's not doing good. Other than that, though, Graham looks at you all and says, all right, so what are we doing about the old man? Like, does I.C.S. arrest him, or?
I assume they filled us in about Finn, right?
They?
Carson?
Filled you. Wait, filled you in about.
Yeah, what the old man said. I am out of the room, right?
Oh, yeah. I definitely say that. And I do make a point to talk about the fact that Finn's disappearance does not seem to be related.
I am out of the room, right?
You were when they initially had the conversation, but Carson would have caught you up.
Okay.
Man, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, it means our job's not done as far as your request, Graham.
Slow nod. Yeah. And then he asks you again, Margot, like, basically, what are you doing with Stefan? Is he going to get arrested? Are you guys going to, like, what's the deal?
You said he has pictures of all the missing people on his walls, right?
Yeah, y'all saw them.
So we can pin these murders directly on him. What a creep, like a serial killer.
No. I mean, I'm sure I.C.S. will deal with them.
Yeah.
There's also still more going on there, so,
Yeah, he's probably gonna be tried as a murderer, and they'll take it from there. That's out of my jurisdiction. In fact, he's lucky he's still alive, as far as my jurisdiction goes.
That's an acceptable answer for now.
I.C.S. needs to be sent there to, like, check things out and see what the hell is going on. And there's also still a machine under his building, whatever the hell that was.
Yes, so...
Oh, yeah, did we ever get a reply for that?
No, there's no reply.
I mean, I.C.S. can check it out, see what it does, I guess.
I mean, that's definitely up their alley.
If we ever do get a reply, I'll know for sure.
Indeed. They can, of course, have someone come in, and like I mentioned before, Margot, basically boring cleanup job, that's not you. You're not boring cleanup. Boring cleanup is collecting all the mirrors and throwing them away and sweeping up the blood, and if there's a corpse, throwing the corpse away, unless the corpse was somewhere very specific, like in the middle of the town, that's on you. But if it's somewhere really far away, wedged into the jungle or a desert or something, they'll handle it, as long as you definitely killed it.
Oh, I do need to go back to town to deliver the sack of puppies.
You want to airdrop them?
Wait,
Huh?
wait, what?
You're going to go in as an advocate for pup?
Yeah, I'm going to show everyone how great puppies are.
Excellent. Are you doing that?
In fact, I need the cutest puppies that my brother can find. That was my criteria.
Well, you asked him a few days ago, so he was able to do so.
The entire town has now has mandated puppies.
Are you doing this today, or?
I figure I can do it in a couple days. I gotta heal a little.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, if I need to re-deliver Stefan myself, like they're gonna let an old man walk free, I guess I could bring him along.
Okay. And as you guys are talking about puppies and talking about, like, what are we going to do with this guy and whatnot, another nurse walks from a room down the way to your group, kind of discussing things outside of Kirk and Ivan's room. And he gives you all a wave and goes, hello. You're all the group that brought in the older gentleman, correct?
Yeah, that's us.
Was there something wrong with him? Was he...
He was somehow tied to the beast. We murdered, killed, disposed of.
Right, I know your job functions, Margo. You don't need to worry too much about the phrasing. It's dead.
Nod.
Was he a key witness of anything, or...?
There was a little more, not more than just a key witness.
Yeah.
He was an accomplice, technically.
Technically.
They nod slowly.
In fact, apparently he said his house is filled with the pictures of the people who were taken.
All right, well, I guess it's a good thing you got some information out of him, because, we checked on him this morning and he didn't wake up. It seems he died last night.
Well, he said that might happen too.
Yeah,
He died.
Yeah, we just got through giving him the look over. We can't necessarily determine what killed him. It's just like his heart stopped.
He said the life force was connected to the creature. Does he have any children?
Stefan did not have any children that you knew of.
Okay.
I'll look into that, man.
You mentioned that, and they kind of like leave a note of like, okay, if he has offspring that were in Gulf Hills.
It probably doesn't matter though. I think the creature would be connected to them as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was connected to his family,
Yeah, but I mean, they're probably dead if there are any,
maybe.
unless
Or
they're
maybe
connected
it's
to
still alive somehow.
like another species. Another same creature somewhere else.
I guess we'll find out.
And so he gives a nod at that and then motions to your group and says, well, it's a good thing you got the information while he was still with us, at least. We'll do what we can with that. The story might be kind of hard to throw together. I heard that, where'd you guys go to? The Galva Hills or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of in the middle of nowhere, so hopefully they take whatever story we feed them. But thank you all.
Just put him back in bed. I don't know. I had a heart attack while I was sleeping.
Yeah, well, I guess that works. We'll figure things out, though.
I mean, his mate is probably going to have an issue with that.
I mean, make it quick so she doesn't freak out that much.
It's a whiles off, so yeah, we're going to work as quickly as we can. Obviously, there's a note left that you left some things behind, but we'll take care of those. Mirrors and such, that's not really too much of a problem. Good job, all. And they sort of nod and turn about, go back to the room. And with that, everything so far seems to be just fine. Scab is no longer, freaking out and trying to spread itself to locations it should not be. Margot, though, now that you're back with civilization, you notice that you missed a fair handful of calls.
From who?
I believe it was mentioned before in the same area, because I'm pretty sure I mentioned this. There was someone that was supposed to be nearby that could have looked into this. Yes, I did. I.C.S. sent an agent named Joe Truman. He was deployed in the general area, and we don't know. Legit, no idea. The dude's somewhere doing something. So Joe Truman was supposed to speak with Graham, not you guys, but he was busy.
I thought he disappeared.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Waifu's notes, too. His name is the first thing there.
There you go. He called you a couple times. You notice he called you while you were in Galva Hills, but while you were also out, he called you again.
Did he leave any messages?
He did leave a message basically saying like, hey, Margot, hey, Margot. And a lot didn't really make any sense. It was almost like he didn't mean to leave a message of like, you literally get one of like, why isn't she answering? And then he just hangs up. And there finally is one of like, oh yeah, I can leave a message, duh. Essentially says like, the second you get this, call me back. I have something I need to show you.
We'll call him back right now.
Okay. As you do, it rings and rings and rings and rings. It's relatively early, and you hear it answered. And then fumbling with the phone. And then a second later you go, ooh, yes, hello?
Hey, Joe, it's Margot?
Margot, finally you've answered me. How you doing?
I'm good. Sorry about that. We were in an area with no reception.
Tough shit, that happens all the time. I assume everyone made it out with all their limbs?
Well, mostly.
Excellent. Have you finished that case, or you free?
Well, see, the thing is, you sent us to help Graham Faulkner, right? Yeah, his is unresolved, but we did solve another one.
Oh, excellent. I got a call about some kid named Graham, but y'all filled that in? You got that taken care of?
Yeah, it's going.
Going is always good. Going is fantastic. My little my little job is definitely going as well. It's was a little more complicated than initially perceived from the outside.
That is pretty typical, yeah.
Very typical for our jobs. You are entirely correct. As sharp as a razor you are. But I believe I've blown something wide open, and I want you to be there.
I'm listening.
Well, I mean, I just need you to meet me somewhere. I've been, lordly, neck deep in notes and papers and talking, and I'm sure. I don't know if I.C.S. had anything nice to say about me, but I do show results. I do get things done. I'm just about finished, but I want you to overlook my notes with me to make sure everything's fine. I can be a little scatterbrained at times, but I'm still working here, doing my thing. I figured you can maybe help me a little.
Sure, I do love papers.
Perfect. It's just basic shit. I want to make sure everything makes sense. You got some like backup with you, some friends that can come help too, probably?
Yep.
Cool. I intentionally took this one alone. Maybe it might have been a mistake. There's a lot of information to go through. It really shouldn't be too hard, but I found a certain individual that gave me way more information than I was expecting. I mean, substantially more. Pretty fantastic, if I'm being entirely honest. I just need to meet with him, kind of, seal the deal, finish things off. I'll detail things when you meet me. Where are you guys right now?
I.C.S.
In the
headquarters.
hospital.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're all in one piece? Yeah, I already asked that, right?
Yeah, you did.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Well, bring you and all your pieces. Weirdly enough, near that apartment, I'm literally 5-10 miles from that area. I just couldn't take the case.
Graham's apartment?
Yeah, I was in the area. So,
should I bring Graham?
No, probably not. Can you trust him?
I'm pretty sure he's got some magic in him.
Perfect. I don't know how that works, but you're more than welcome to bring him. I won't stop you. I said,
honestly, I do kind of trust him. Out of game, I do kind of trust him.
Yeah, I do like Graham.
Perfect. All right. Well,
He has never lied to us.
If you trust this individual, yes.
He's also been very obedient when you need him to be, which is useful.
Perfect lucky.
Excellent. I'll go ahead and text you the upside down. Okay. Oh, I'm awake. All right. I'll text you the address. Meet me there. And don't wear anything too flashy, I guess. Like, stay chill, stay relaxed, yeah?
But you know me, don't you?
Honestly, I think that what's his face, Graham and this guy would get along perfectly. They're both very
Yeah,
mouthy.
kinda. Does this have anything to do with Graham's case?
This should be entirely separate.
Then we can leave Graham behind.
I mean, you could make it as his internship.
Yeah, that's true. We could do that.
Totally up to you.
I guess we'll have to ask if he's actually interested in exploring the greater options in the world.
So you're basically going to ask if he wants to come with?
Sure.
Okay, we can definitely do that. You guys basically tell I.C.S, hey, we're peacing out. We got something to look at real quick. And they're like, sure, go nuts.
How many days of rest have we gotten at this point?
Just one. You guys got this call, or I guess Margot called back relatively early.
Yeah, we killed...
Honestly, depending on how heavy this is going to be, Jay might be like, I'm going to peace out for a bit because I'm broke.
I mean, we only killed it yesterday, so that's how much time has passed.
Yeah, if any of you want to like stay behind, like chill I.C.S, go back home, he only asked for Margot. You don't have to come with.
Yeah. Like Jay would probably stay behind in the hospital and like spend some days revalidating.
Okay, we can definitely do that.
Rehabilitating, that's the word, yeah.
Yeah. Healing! Okay, we can definitely do that. Margot and Carson, if your name is properly. I almost said good old Cargo and Marson.
Cargo and Marson?
Cargo Noom! Alright. I think I already made the joke. It's not funny this time. Alright. I guess Margot, since this is kind of your thing, why are you asking him to come with? What are you telling him?
So, Graham, your request isn't resolved, unfortunately. There is something much bigger going on with your friend Finn. And I'm pretty sure there's something special about you. So would you be interested in perhaps joining I.C.S?
Joining your company?
Yeah, we deal with the weird and unusual.
Before I say yes or no, what's I.C.S stand for?
Incursion Containment Sector.
That sounds pretty spooky.
We do
It's
spooky
weird
things.
shit for weird people.
Do you see these injuries? Some of the stuff we deal with are not very nice.
He pauses a second, holding his finger up. He's like,
Now, you don't have to deal with what I deal with. I like the adrenaline rush, but you could just be a desk junkie.
That was my question. Cool. I was about to say, are you asking me to join the field and maybe die with you? Because maybe, but less on the dying part. Remember the whole blood stays on the inside thing?
No, I totally agree, but you can't help it sometimes.
This is very true. Saving the day and all that. I'll consider it. I don't hate my job.
All right, well, in that case, I've been called away to look through some paperwork. Would you like to experience what the desk part of this job might involve?
I got an eye for detail. I can come with, sure.
All right, cool. Let's go.
Alrighty. Which vehicle are we jumping in, Margot?
Mine.
The really gaudy one?
Oh, yes.
All right, so Carson, Margot, and Graham, you all hop into the Margot mobile, and we head to the address given to us. As I mentioned, it's about 5-10 minutes from Serene Falls, relatively close to where we are now, actually, and doesn't really take you too long to get there. You know, Margot, that this dude, Joe, he's worked with you guys, quite a few times. He's not some newbie. You've definitely worked with him a couple times. He tends to go off alone too frequently, not because he's a lone wolf. Maybe he just forgets of like, no, I can handle it. And then no, but he has
he overestimates himself.
Very much so, yes. I'd say he probably joined not around the same time you did, so you're definitely senior to him.
Damn, he's been around a long time though.
Yeah, he's definitely been in this agency for quite some time, and that's probably where he gets the "I got this" mentality from. He's gone shooting with you. Are you one to go for drinks and go out for like eating with compatriots, or do you stick to yourself?
A bit of both. I think it depends on my mood.
Okay, well, if the mood ever were to take you, Joe's definitely the kind of person to invite himself. But in terms of like training on site, he will basically join you and others whether you want him to or not. So that's the kind of guy he is.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you're like, hey, I'm gonna head home, and you say no to drinks, he'll be like, oh, sweet, great, I'll drink alone. The usual. Anyway.
Depressing.
Oh, screams in the void. So doesn't take you too long to get here, and Graham kind of goes from all right to growing excitement levels. Like, okay, you get to see how the real business works. And you, indeed, eventually arrive. You're near what seems to just be, realistically, just a bunch of buildings. One's probably an apartment complex. The other one's a multi-floored, just business, your usual pizza, fortune tellings, just, the random, like, oh, yes, floor 3 is the blank. Very similar, not the same building, of course, but very similar to the one that you guys went in, that Graham went to for psychic training, if you guys recall that building. Just,
Oh, that's where we're going?
You're going to a building very similar to that one.
Okay.
Yes. And as you guys kind of pull up, you guys are parking basically behind this building. If you've ever been the downtown, this area has a very, very downtown feel. And this little parking zone, since you guys are early, is relatively empty. But there's like a dance club nearby. There's all this stuff. But particularly, he's standing near an alleyway that leads basically between all these buildings. As you kind of pull up, he waves you guys down. You park. You pop out of your car. And he just comes over to you, Margo, and goes, hey, Margo, how are things?
Hey, Joe, everything's good.
Perfect. And who do we have joining us today?
This is Graham and Carson. You've met Carson before.
Excellent. Carson, nice to see you again. And Graham, new. Is he new to the force? Or like, what are we doing here?
We're recruiting him.
Recruitment trial. Perfect. Love that answer. Excellent. Well, Graham, buddy. And he extends his hand. Graham's like, hey, what's up, dude? And they shake hands and says, perfect. We're here to show you kind of how things play out. Is he looking for field? He looks pretty fit. Is he more of a field guy or like a desk jockey?
We're going to start with desk work for now.
All right, desk jockey it is. There is no shame in that, my friend. There's a lot to do, and a lot of it's just piecing things together. I tend to do both. Not the best idea. What sleep? Let's get going. And he smiles, turns around, points the alleyway, and then pauses and goes, yep, the important thing. Forgot about that. That was just Margo. I'm meeting with my... Pauses for another moment. Turns back around, checks his watch. I'm meeting with my informant. I found this dude. Weird as shit. I know y'all have seen weird people before. This dude's super weird. He's real hush-hush. But I have been able to get so much information out of this guy. He is just a faucet. I don't know if he knows what he's telling me or if he's full of shit. I got no idea. But this dude is just a sponge and I'm squeezing him dry. So, this should be my last-ish meeting with him. He tends to repeat himself, so.
Are we allowed to join this? Isn't he going to be skittish?
Correct. He'll be very skittish. So, there's somewhere y'all can hide. Fortunately, you probably haven't been back here. I haven't been back here, but this is where I've been meeting him. There's a whole bunch of I don't know who designed this place, but the alleyways kind of go through all the way. Some of the buildings are too close together, and he points down the alleyway, and you can see one sharply turns to the right, but going straight between these two buildings, the gap between the alley is literally like half an inch. And he's like, I don't know if you're supposed to I don't know what they were doing there. Why not make the buildings touch? Weird, right? Anyway, this whole back area looks like that. So, folk don't tend to come back here. There's no trash, there's no doors. Alleyway, I don't know, whatever. I didn't design it. City planners, they have jobs, I guess. So.
Does he come from a specific direction every time?
Yes, he comes from the opposite direction. By comes, I mean he's just kind of there. I've tried to scope out the area, and he's always just there. Dude's weird. I'm not going to question it. Like I said, he's feeding me information, making my job easy. So I got one last meeting with him. And, just to kind of have you all around, overhear things, whatnot. The usual Margo, having people to back you up. I'll have you all nearby, but he's super skittish. Don't, I guess, don't really reveal yourselves, I guess. Just, there's an area you can hide around the corner where you can, see, just, watch my back. Well, that's basically all I called you here for.
Are there any windows I can peek and watch out from?
No, that's the weird thing. And he kind of points up and says, there's no windows looking into the alleyway here. Like I said, I don't know what the city planners were doing. It's just a bunch of back-end flat buildings. Like, there's windows that go outward, but they can't see in this alley, which is perfect because that means people can't see me talking to him. It's probably why I like the back area.
All right, I guess I'll find a corner to crouch down in nearby.
Yeah,
Is that what we're all doing?
you don't all have to.
Just crouching, checking things out, or waiting for stuff to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I just want Margaret to come, but if y'all want to, it's a little harder with 3 of you, but there's
Okay.
So then should the other 2 crouch down and I'll join?
like I said, it's up to you. If you would,
So look, we're here for your backup. How about you make a decision? That
Right.
sounded really rude. I'm so sorry.
All right, you 2 go hide somewhere and I'll just step back.
You
Like
got
I
it,
said,
buddy.
all 3 y'all can hide if you want. Y'all can't walk up though. That's for sure. Definitely not. He'll freak out.
Yeah, I'll stand back within speaking range.
Perfect. All right. So you're coming physically with me, Margot, or is it just quote unquote me alone?
No, I'll go with you.
Okay, so he's gonna see you.
Yeah,
All right. I need to be alone at first. I gotta tell him that you're coming with. Is that okay?
that's fine.
All right. He's like a little rat. He's real skittish. I don't want to scare this dude. And he smiles at that and says, you 2, you can hang around like this turn here as you guys begin to walk down the alleyway. He says, just stay here. You can probably overhear the conversation. I'm not very quiet. He's hard to hear though. He kind of whisper talks. I don't know. Y'all chill here. Carson, Graham, Margot, come with me around this next turn. Just chill behind the trash. No, there's no trash. I lied. Haha. Chill behind this corner, basically. Just wait. I'll let him
Got
know
it.
that you're here. We'll set things up. We're buddy. I should never see this guy again. And then I can open your eyes to all the crazy shit I've been collecting. Sound good?
Sounds
Great.
Hell yeah. So he begins to walk with you guys and shows the 2 of you where to stop. Shows Margot where to stop and walks around the corner. So you can see this meeting area, Margot. It looks as if all these buildings, at least like the backside of them, their shapes don't make any sense. They all could have been square, but they're not. They're very Tetrisy. But there is an area to stand in. You can maybe fit like 10 people here. It's not very large. Going out from this area, you see 1, maybe 2 alleyways that are at most 2 or 1.5 people wide. So this area is fairly crunched. Not to the point where it'd freak you out, Carson, but it's getting real close. It's real dangerous, I will say. Just don't look at it. Don't look up either, because these buildings are relatively tall.
I'm looking away.
Yeah, just kind of focus on chilling with Graham, and I don't know if you're showing apprehension of but you're not fully in as far as Margot is. If you were that far, this would be questionable at best. And Graham's just kind of chit-chatting with you. Like, all right, cool. We'll see his office, I guess, in a second.
Yeah.
And, Margot, he kind of taps you on the shoulder and nods to you to say, stay right there. He whips around, and as he kind of walks out, he reaches this open area, and you can see the dude's already waiting. There's an individual that is... You can't really see his face. He's wearing like a cowl and like a jacket, coat, cape type thing over that. And it's relatively dark back in here, but it's still early, so sun's coming down. Main reason you can't see is because, of course, hood. Joe walks up and goes, "Hello, my friend. How are things?" And the figure slowly turns to him, lifts a hand, and sort of just waves. And his skin is not a very healthy color, we'll say. It's very gray. And he waves and puts his hand down. And Joe just starts talking to him, basically saying, "How are things? How's this? How's that?" And, he responds, but you can't really hear from here, Margot. He's really quiet. And then you hear Joe say, "So, my guy, friend, buddy, I have an ally, someone that can sort of help. I just wanted to introduce you to, just like to say hello. Do you mind?" And with his hand lifted out, he slowly lowers it, the figure. And then kind of motions like, "Sure, that's fine." But you can't really tell what he's saying precisely. He talks with his hands quite a bit. And he goes, "Cool, excellent." Turns around and says, "Margaret, you can come out. Just, I guess keep your distance. My friend here doesn't like strangers."
I'll poke my head out, wave, and approach a little bit.
Okay, the informant waves back. And as you approach, they continue talking. And now that you're closer, you can hear. From a distance, you just heard a rasping, like sandpaper being rubbed together. No words. Now that you're closer, though, you can hear that there actually were, indeed, syllables placed between all of these sentences that he's stringing together. And as they're sort of chit-chatting, Joe's thanking him for his service, saying, hey, man, you've helped me a ton. I hope the information I give you has helped and whatnot. My friend here is going to kind of head back, and we're going to go, back to the office and get things taken care of. Hopefully you and your people are good now. Yeah? Like, we can find a place for you in the city. That should be good. And the figure nods. And you can hear Margot, as now you've gotten closer. And it says,
yes, you and your little group at I.C.S. have been quite helpful. I do believe we're done with you now. Yes?
And she goes, correct, exactly. I don't remember telling you where I worked at, though. Did I let that slip? Margaret, did I let that slip last second?
Not that I heard.
Cool. Can you read minds, little guy? Are you a mind reader? And you can hear a laugh again, Margot, that once again replicates sandpaper just grating against itself.
Is this guy a zombie?
He has a very zombie feel to him. The gray skin probably isn't great, Margot.
I don't smell anything dead, do I?
Back here, you don't know. You're far enough that you don't know if it's him or just a bird or something, or a cat that brought its dinner back here.
Oh dear God. Okay.
And Joe goes, right. Well, I might have been drunk one day when we met and let it slip. And then the figure goes, waves his finger and says,
no, you did not.
and he goes, oh, okay. Getting a little creepier than usual. All right, putting on a little show for Margot. Anyway, I'm going to head out. I'm going to leave. I really appreciate it, dude. If you need me, you can reach out. But we're essentially done, right? My deal, your deal. We're all finished. And once again, the figure, you can see him shaking his head under the cowl. You can't see his face, but he shakes his head and says,
no. When I said we were done with you, I meant we were done. Thank you, I.C.S.
And he goes, right, I'm going now. All right, peace, dude. And he goes to turn and just freezes. And you notice he froze the second the figure put his hand out, all fingers extended.
Can we see this?
You, Carson, and Graham 100% cannot, but you can hear Joe's voice echoing down the halls. You cannot hear this other figure he's talking to, so you're really only hearing Joe
Half
and
the conversation.
barely Margot, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I don't like this.
Explain yourself, please. I'm reaching for my sword.
Okay, you right your sword all the way out here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
My baby comes with me everywhere.
Sure. The figure turns to look at you, Margot, and you notice, with his hand entirely extended, all of his fingers spread wide, like a rising sun. You notice he has an extra joint on his fingers. It bends one more time. And the cowl turns to you, Margot, and although you cannot see his face, you see a wide, broken, toothy smile. And he answers you by closing his fist, turning his hand, and you can see his fingers moving in very incredibly rapid but confusing ways. This looks somewhat familiar, Margot.
Have I seen this before?
You think you've possibly seen this before, yes.
Do I have any instinctual, run away, attack kind of feeling from it?
Both. It's bad. 100% it's bad. It's not directed at you. Whatever it is 100% directed at Joe. After you have said this, after he has said his thing, Joe has not moved. He is frozen as if he were a statue.
Can I pull out my silver dagger and shove it at his hand?
Yes, as you go to pull for your dagger, you hear something crack. Not in you, but in Joe. And it happens rapidly. Horrifyingly rapidly. Joe's arm, his right arm, is extended. His face is slightly turned to you, Margot, as he was intending to leave. And you can see for a split second on Joe's face, he may have been frozen, but his eyes were not. They're full of panic and fear. And the next thing that transpires is almost too horrifying for words. It's almost impossible to even recognize what happens next, Margot. You see within his body, his skin begins to ripple and wave, almost as if a foreign entity has invaded him, but no, that's not it. You can tell this cracking and this wet sliding sound that happens in like the blink of an eye, but then continues as you go to pull for your weapon. All the bones in his arm begin to spin and rotate within his body. You see his skull begin to turn inside of his head. As in, he continues facing one direction, but his skull, and just his skull, begins to rotate clockwise within his flesh, I guess. I'm not really sure how to describe that perfectly. But do you understand that?
Yeah, his face is facing me, but his skull is not.
Correct.
That's gross.
One eye is pulled in, one is ejected. His teeth are in his cheek now, effectively. It's difficult to tell. It's just an open mouth against flesh, muscle. It's hard to tell.
I'm definitely not saving him with how fast this is happening.
It was almost instant. And you hear it happen like crack, 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 crack. You think maybe it happened to his leg somewhere else. He makes no sound, though. You hear a muffled like, "Ugh," and that's it from Joe. He's still standing, completely rigid. His fingers stop. You've drawn your blade and you're ready to throw it, and the entity just looks at you. Still smiling.
So he's definitely dead now, right?
You're 99% sure there's no coming back from whatever that was.
I don't think that's coming back from that yet.
just checking. Okay,
Oh
can
my
I, since I was way too slow with that, can I flick my dagger at the guy's hood to reveal his face?
Yes. First, go ahead and roll me to keep it together. This time, we'll go, do plus cool for this one. Nice, alrighty. One stress-a-reno. Where are we throwing this boy?
Agitated, because Joe should have explained more very clearly before we went here. I definitely missed something important. And I'm not going to be able to find out what it is now without looking at his notes.
Alrighty. Margot, you're pissed. You see this transpire. It almost happens within the span of 1 or 2 seconds. You've drawn your weapon and you're slowed slightly as you see the scene unfolding before you, but you're able to draw the blade and you go to throw it and you're trying to basically unhood him.
Yeah, I want to unhood him and then dash behind a wall.
All right. Go ahead and roll me. Act under pressure. Your knife hurtles forward. And Carson, Graham, you guys hear a loud sound crack out. Do you make any sound or say anything, Margaret, or you just throw the knife?
Just the knife.
Okay. And after that, you guys hear nothing as this knife goes hurling out of your hands, flying towards this person, this entity, whatever he is. And it catches his hood. It pulls back to reveal a face? Question mark? There's a lot to look at, Margot. Truly, potentially, possibly too much. But you can see as all of his eyes turn now to look at you, there is a level of offense that you've revealed him.
Yes, of course. Dodge behind a wall, please.
And the consequence, because we roll a 7.
Oh no.
I'm just going to say, seeing this, I won't even describe it because the second I would have to then issue a new description for you, Margot. But despite his features refusing to stay still, despite his structure making no sense, you get the feeling deep down, Margot, you will not forget what this son of a bitch looks like. We'll add one more stress. Where do you want it?
That's definitely a stress thing.
Alrighty. You whip around the corner, and for a second, it's like the air around you grows tense and tight. You can almost feel something like squeezing your wrist, like an invisible hand, and you look at it but see nothing.
Then I would like to shout, run, and run.
You shout run, and you hear a quick whipping of a cape as if someone is expending the dust from a rug. A slight cracking noise, and then nothing comes from the location of Joe. You then hear his body fall after this cracking sound. And you scream run, and you run. Before, when you looked at your wrist, as you're coming over to Carson and Graham, you...
Who should also be running, because I heard my run.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. But you catch up to them fairly quick. It's not too far away. And you were shouting this as you're running, of course. But in your mind's eye, you swear you almost saw like what seemed to be an impression on your skin, as if an invisible hand was pressing against your flesh. But you've rejoined your two allies. You see Joe's vehicle and yours. Graham looks freaked out. He's looking at you like, why are you running? What's going on?
Better to ask questions later.
Yeah, ask questions later. Joe's full of shit.
What? What do you do? And then you
He's
guys
also
run out.
dead. Just keep running.
Okay, you guys have run to the car, and your chilling goes, hold on, he's dead?
I jump in the car. Yeah, get in.
Oh, okay. Graham is like really confused. This isn't paperwork. And he jumps into the.
I know.
He jumps into the car with you.
Like I said, he's full of shit.
All right, as everyone hops in the vehicle with you, Margot, where do you go? What do you do?
Do I know where Joe lives?
No,
or where his research is usually done?
Probably where he lives, which is in I.C.S. has these files, of course. You just need to request them.
All right, then I'm gonna head Judd back to I.C.S. because now I need to figure out what he was. I mean, he said he had a bunch of notes, so he must have written down these conversations somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. You head back, and Graham's looking at you like, "Is this normal? Is it normal?"
Yes,
not for paper pushers.
No, yeah, not for paper pushers.
What got him?
I want to say even for I.C.S. employees, that's not normal.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think because yes and no, expect the unexpected, but I think Graham bit off way more than he could chew, which usually we're smart enough to avoid.
Wait, do you mean
or take
Joe?
proper precautions? Yeah, Joe. Sorry, what did I say?
Graham.
Yeah, Joe.
Poor Graham. He doesn't even work yet, and he's already dead.
My bad.
All right, so super confused, but like, okay, I understand. And there's a bit of a drive to get back to I.C.S. And in the silence, Graham just kind of asks, like, all right, well, do you know what killed him? Like, what happened?
Something weird sounds.
The informant straight up said, "I'm done with you," and do you want me to describe it?
No.
I might look a little freaked out, by the way.
You don't need to describe how he died. I mean, okay, sorry, not the graphic detail. I just mean, like, how did he kill him? Did he shoot him? Did he stab him? Like, what?
My best guess would be something similar to telekinesis.
Oh, okay. Shit. Okay. All right. That's a thing. Okay. And Graham's just looking at himself like, all right, cool. And he's calming down, but he's just like, all right, I maybe shouldn't be as weirded out. You guys told me about this like weird creature in the woods, and we got this guy, and all right. And after all this, you guys arrive back.
Don't
at
worry,
I.C.S.
you'll get used to it quickly.
I mean, he should be weirded out by it regardless.
Yeah, he should be. I mean, I'm weirded out.
Yeah.
I guess it's a good thing we stayed behind. Are you hurt? Why didn't he kill you?
Because I know to run.
All right, run. Number 1 is run. Got it.
Know your limits. That's rule number 1 of I.C.S.
All right. And he's like,
Joe forgot them apparently.
He's talking to himself like, okay. If I join, paper pushers, pencil pushers don't have to eat pencils, paper, and oh man, there's a lot of stuff.
Honestly, look, the research that pencil pushers do at I.C.S. is invaluable.
Yeah, I got that. You can play like shit. What's her name? Like Oracle from Batman?
Yeah. From Batman? Sure.
Yeah.
I think that's her name. I don't know. Shit.
It is. Yes, it is.
Okay, there's so many like different timelines. I get confused. Anyway, all right, we're all good. Anyway, we're set. We're fine. I.C.S. is here. We're checking people. Like, what's the next move?
I need to find out what Joe was researching.
You should probably call him in as well. That
That's
he
a
was
good
literally
point.
destroyed by a telekinist.
I will whip out my phone, and make a phone call before I get there.
Okay, what's the phone call for?
Hey, Joe's dead. You might want to get his body, but be very careful.
Okay, there are some agents in the field that you might recognize a car that's coming the opposite direction, Margot, as you're headed towards the office, and you do indeed arrive.
Emphasize, be very, very careful.
They will be incredibly careful now that they know, yes.
If you see a guy in a robe, run.
Alrighty, and with that, you have indeed arrived, and you head on into the office at I.C.S.
And I immediately ask for Joe's research lab and any associated areas he may have done research and kept notes.
They quickly look into that for you, as an agent is down. That is a massive problem, especially because we haven't heard from him in a while, and the next thing we hear is Margot saying he's dead. Okay, they're not questioning you. They're just like, this happens, but damn it. Fortunately, you have a lead. Thank God. They look into a few things. Unfortunately, they do already have some agents out in the field. They have someone swing by his house real quick, and they determine that there's nothing there at all besides just his usual shit. But the agent that you told to go pick up his body we wait maybe 20, 30 minutes as they're getting information, solidifying things, ensuring that you're fine, Margot, and didn't bring anything weird with you. They have some, people pull you up to like a mud room, basically, except instead of mud,
I mean, fair.
yeah, it's like a bad juju room, basically. Yeah, the blood room.
Yeah, the bad juju room.
Yeah. And they like slap you with like, whatever thing. Talismans, yeah. Anyway, you're safe, you're fine, you're good. But with all that, I.C.S. gets a call, and the people that are checking you out, Margot, and making sure that you're fine, because sometimes we don't know, and you just got over something. Calm down. You can throw things at other people, I promise.
I might be, because I'm a little stressed out right now.
That's fair. And with all this, they receive a call, and they let you know, Margot, that, while we do not have anything in his home, it seems he had a key on him, and he was renting like a motel nearby that area, because he doesn't live in that area.
Perfect. There's probably stashes of notes there.
Yeah. So they said, if you want, they can go by. You can go by. Up to you.
I actually don't care. I'm cool going by.
Perfect. Okay. They will go ahead and bring the key back to I.C.S. They'll be here in 15-ish minutes, and they'll bequeath that information to you. It really isn't too far away from where you met with him, which makes a lot of sense because that's where his contact was. Shouldn't really take you too long. It is indeed within the same day. Are you planning on going today? Resting a day? What's your plan? It's about noon.
I need those notes just in case that creature knew he had notes. So we'll go today. In fact, I think I'll go with intent to box it up myself. I want to go myself just in case the team might miss something, do it yourself, make sure it gets done right kind of thing. And I'll bring it back to I.C.S, I guess.
All right. I mean, mechanically, it's always best to check yourself, Margot. So good call. Who are you bringing with?
I want to say that Jay is going to be out of service for a while, so I'm going to bring in Kaiba.
Ooh, I get to meet my brother that I never knew I had, huh?
Yeah.
So how are you going to approach?
He would probably already be there.
At where? The motel?
Either at the motel or he was the agent picking up the body.
Okay, cool. I guess I'll meet you at the motel then.
Sure. I did want to ask, by the way, because I just noticed with the extra move I picked up on Kaiba, it is practically the same as one of my other moves. Do you mind if I change that?
We can look at that in just a second because we're coming near the end of our time.
It's not relevant for this anyway, but for next week, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll get it set up to switch over to that man. Are we bringing Graham with us? Or we let him hang back, or you want an extra pair of eyes?
Extra pair of eyes, come on.
Okay, he's cool with that.
We started this mission. Let's see how far we can go with it. And don't worry, I will make sure you're safe. Unlike that guy, I will be in Joe's shoes, so you'll know to run next time.
Perfect. Alrighty, and with all that, Kaiba is indeed there already waiting. You probably see him wave on the outside as you all approach in your wonderfully loud, impossible to miss vehicle, Margot. This motel is definitely somewhere out of the way. He did not opt for opulence with this, definitely. The man did not want to be noticed, understandably. And as your group approaches...
And he's standing in front of the door like a tall, lanky... Weirdly enough, he kind of reminds you of Maverick, except if he was not buff.
Okay, yeah,
And
I can see it.
Yeah. He would just watch you come, I guess. So, you must be Margot and Carson. I've worked with you before, I think. So you probably don't know my name.
Probably true.
Yeah, hi. What's yours?
Kaiba.
Maverick.
Your brother might
was
have told you about me.
I'm gonna freeze. Kaiba, my long lost supposed brother?
That would be the one. And I'll hold up the key. And you're here for this. I was just picking up the body.
Did you grab my knife too?
Oh, is that what it is? I did pick it
Yeah,
up.
I need it.
Sure, I'll take it out of my jacket.
Ah, thank you. And I'll take the keys too. Wasn't expecting to meet you this way. Cool.
Well, the job demands, and I heard Jay is out of business for a while, so figured I would help out.
Yeah, he got kind of roughed up.
Weird creatures in the forest, I heard. Good work on that, huh?
Thanks. Protected my face in by removing it from life.
That's a sentence.
Yeah, that fits.
And as we're contemplating what Margot just said, you slam the key into the lock. It satisfyingly clicks, but does not satisfyingly open. These doors definitely leave quality wanting. And as you slide it open, your group is greeted with notes upon notes that are stacked, stapled and smacked and taped, possibly glued to the walls, with string attaching all of them. And on this wonderfully convoluted scene, we'll pause there.